Alright, so today we're going to talk about the 4 foods you need to feel peak. This is basically the meat and fruit animal-based diet that I've been following for around 3 months now. And it's the diet that basically has changed my life, that basically has made me into a different person. I feel so much better every single day thanks to these 4 foods, and I'm going to break down exactly why you need to be eating these 4 foods, how you can eat more of them every day, and just why they're so effective. Because a lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people are misinformed about nutrition. They don't realize it's very, very simple, and they just need to be eating these 4 basic foods, a lot of them. First food, meat. Okay, this is the meat and fruit diet, and you're going to be eating meat as the staple of your meals. We know, if you've heard of the carnivore diet, the diet that is just meat, then you know that meat is the most nutritious food you can eat. There's a reason the carnivore people survive on just meat, and it's because it's the most essential food, the food that humans have been eating for the longest time, the food that has all the micronutrients, all the macronutrients, everything you need to feel your best, to look your best. It builds so much muscle, and it's the only food you actually need. Like, the carnivore diet is literally just meat, and people thrive on it. Like, they are better than ever just eating meat. So that should tell you how important this food is. But red meat is worth prioritizing over other types of meat. The reason for that is there's more iron, there's, better micronutrients, better ratios of like omega-6s and omega-3s. I don't know the exact science, right? But just trust me, you'll feel better. Like, the reason you'll prioritize red meat more is because you'll just feel better eating more red meat than when you eat more chicken, more pork, more fish, whatever. Because it's just more satisfying, and that just tells you that there's more value in red meat. So, prioritize red meat. I would say a pound of red meat a day. That means ground beef for most of you, because I know you're not affording steaks, a pound of steak every day. If you can get steak, great, but a ground beef will do the job. And I would say a pound is a really solid amount. It's going to give you so many micronutrients. It's going to give you tons of protein, tons of fat. I think it's like 60 to 70 grams of protein for a pound of ground beef, especially if you want to get the fatty cuts of ground beef, like 80-20, maybe even 73-27, because you want that fat too. That's where your protein and fat sources are meat on this diet and eggs. So you want to be getting tons of protein and fat from red meat, because it's going to give you all those nutrients, everything you need to feel your best. I would say the burger patties that you can get at the grocery store of, ground beef, if they're like a third pound, just eat 3 of them. That's 1 pound of ground beef. You can eat that in a meal. It might sound a little crazy if you've only ever eaten like a quarter-pound burger at a meal before. You can eat a whole pound. You can eat a whole pound of meat, and that can be your meal. And you will feel the difference if you do that consistently, because that just gives you so much of the good stuff in red meat. 1 pound per day. That's the minimum, honestly, like 1 pound to feel your best. If you eat a pound of ground beef a day, your muscle growth skyrocketing. It's gonna skyrocket. So, eat a pound of red meat. If you can get more, great, but if you can't, throw in some chicken, throw in some pork, throw in some fish. You'll get more protein. Those have nutrients too, they're just not as amazing as red meat. Second food out of 4 is eggs. Okay, now these pair nicely with meat. Whatever protein and fat you don't get from your meat, your pound of ground beef, and all your other meat, you're going to get from eggs. You're going to get protein, fat, tons more micronutrients, some micronutrients that you can't get in meat, actually, or you can get every micronutrient in meat that you need, basically, but eggs have, different amounts of them, and they complement each other really nicely. So, eggs, I would say, very overhated food in the past, from people who think that cholesterol is going to give you heart disease. and, you know, more than 2 eggs a day is just horrendous for you. That's not true. We know that more eggs a day, the more eggs you eat every day, the more testosterone you can create, the more, micronutrients, the more, energy you have. All of that is good. It's a good source of all those things. Eggs will give you all of it. 10 eggs a day. That might sound crazy, but 10 eggs is doable. It's very doable. You'll get thousands of milligrams of cholesterol because you want that. You want that for your testosterone. And all those micronutrients. I don't even need to explain the science behind why eating 10 eggs is so effective. You just need to do it. Do it for just 1 day or 2 days. Because the next day, the day after you eat 10 eggs and your body has processed all those nutrients and all the cholesterol and everything, you will feel the difference. You will have higher testosterone. You will have more energy because your brain has more nutrients. So try it for yourself, because the only evidence that you'll actually internalize is your own experience. So eat your 10 eggs and then tell me you don't feel the difference. Alright, so that's meat and eggs, and your only sources of protein and fat on this diet are meat and eggs. So you have to lock in on them. You have to be eating tons of meat, tons of eggs. 10 eggs, a pound of ground beef. Go do more if you can, and you definitely can. So once you have your protein, your fat dialed in, and basically all your micronutrients, that's basically what a carnivore diet is. You have your meat and eggs. And that's great, you can survive on that, but you're not going to thrive because your cortisol will go through the roof. And that's why people on carnivore feel all this mental clarity and energy and stuff. They don't realize it's actually cortisol. It's actually their stress hormone just telling them to, find food, your body thinks you're in a starvation state when you're on carnivore, and it's telling you to find food. It's giving you stress hormone to make you feel more alert. That doesn't mean it's an optimal diet for the long term. So what you do is, when you have your meat and eggs and you're on a carnivore diet, you add in meat, or you add in fruit and honey. And these are your clean carb sources. These will spike your insulin, which is actually good for you. If you didn't know, insulin spikes are not bad for you. People like to demonize them, but insulin spikes from fruit and honey are just better for you. They're extremely beneficial, and they don't harm you in the ways that insulin spikes from grains, from oats, from bread, from ultra-processed food, processed sugars. Those insulin spikes are horrendous, but these insulin spikes are absolutely beneficial. They don't, give you any brain fog. They don't, cause you to store fat or anything like that. They benefit you in a lot of ways. They tell your body to hold on to electrolytes. They tell your body to build muscle. Insulin is an anabolic hormone. They reduce cortisol. So when your body feels an insulin spike, that tells it that it's not in a starvation mode anymore, and it's in a mode where it can, create hormones like testosterone, which you want. It can, recharge, recover, build muscle. It's not starving anymore, so your cortisol goes down and your testosterone goes up. That's what the clean carbs do. They also give you energy, and you don't need to be fat adapted to have really strong energy throughout the day. You can be eating a lot of fat, which you will be powered by fat to some extent, and you will burn that fat for energy at certain points. But carbs, and eating a lot of carbs, is very, very beneficial, because you'll get so much more energy for athletics, for lifting, for going for workouts, for just doing things like whatever you need to do throughout the day. You'll be powered by clean carbs. And they're also a very easy way to get more calories. So I would say, for starting with honey, I have a bottle of honey right here. This is a very good brand. You can order this on Amazon, and you can get so many calories in with honey. This is 20 servings of 70 calories each. which is just insane. If you drink this whole bottle, that's 1,400 calories. 1,400. If you eat that many calories, if you add in that many calories of carbs a day, you just will feel the difference. Like, you'll just feel different. Way more energy. Way more ability to lift, to run, to do whatever, exercise you need to do. Whatever tasks you need to do. You'll just have way more energy. Way more energy if you can eat that much honey a day. You don't need to eat a whole bottle. But if you're really trying to lock in, if you're ambitious, a whole bottle is great. You can just order it on Amazon. It's delicious too. Delicious. And it's way better than processed sugar. I used to think this was just the same thing as just eating sugar, basically. Processed sugar cane. It's not. It's so much better. It's natural. It's from the bees. I don't know how the fuck the bees make this shit, but it's amazing. Clean carbs. That's your main clean carb source is honey, okay? And then for fruits give you variety, basically. They give you potassium, your electrolytes, whatever, some more micronutrients, some vitamin C. But they're really just there for variety, honestly. And I would say the best fruits, first of all, bananas. All right, bananas are very calorie dense. They're very convenient. They have potassium, and they're delicious. So prioritize bananas for sure. They're cheap too. So maybe a whole bunch of bananas a day, like 5 bananas, whatever is in a bunch. That's an easy way to get tons of, that's like 500 calories. One banana is like 100 calories. So you can get 500 calories of bananas, of clean carbs from bananas a day. You're just better off. And another fruit, dates. Dates are great. You can order like a kilogram of them on Amazon for pretty cheap. And you can just snack on them whenever. Like my bag of dates, they don't go bad. My bag of dates has lasted me like a month. And they're delicious. They're super sweet. People call them nature's candy. Okay? They do. They do call them that. And they're just delicious. And they get processed really well by your body for carbs. So pre-workout, have a few dates. They're amazing. Berries are great. They have a lot of micronutrients and antioxidants, if you believe in that, but they're not super calorie dense. But I mean, if you put a pound of blueberries in front of me, I could just eat the whole thing. They're just delicious. Melon is also a solid pick. Watermelon, cantaloupe, pineapple, those fruits. Delicious. Just had some earlier. And you can get a lot of them. I would say for me, the fruits I avoid are grapes, apples. I think they have too much fructose, or there's something with their chemicals that they have that just makes my brain feel slower after I eat them. But try them for yourself. It's always an individual thing. Always experiment with your own diet. And yeah, I would say those fruits, apples, and grapes, and sometimes fruit juice too. Maybe orange juice is the one exception, but I would say avoid fruit juice, really, because it's just, we never would have eaten fruit. We never would have drank fruit juice in the wild. So, I think it's better to just limit that. Since it's just concentrated fruit, you can just eat fruit, just eat whole fruit and then eat honey, and you're good. You don't need to add in juice or anything. So that's basically the diet. You'll have your protein, your fat, and your micronutrients, and then your clean carbs to give you energy, to give you insulin spikes that lower cortisol for your lifts. Definitely eat honey before your lifts. It'll give you a huge boost. Alright, so focus on those 4 foods. You're not eating any junk. You're not eating grains, processed foods. Vegetables are questionable because they're low calorie, anti-nutrients, whatever. I'm going to do another video where I talk about what foods we don't eat on this diet and why. But for now, these are the foods we do eat. We do eat meat, especially red meat, eggs, fruit, and honey. It's 4 foods. It might seem very simple, but for me, I work best when things are simple and clear. I work best in extremes. So this diet might not be for you if you like to eat 20 different kinds of food every day, but 4 foods for me works perfectly well. And I feel amazing, and I build a lot more muscle than I used to. So I'll lock in on those 4 foods. Thanks for watching.